Okay, let's start this. All meeting to order, roll call.
Mayor Westgard.
Yep.
Here. Laney.
Here.
Us. Here. Camp. Here. And Councilor Global North is out having her baby. It's a boy.
I hope she's having fun. Public forum, nobody. Consent agenda. Any questions?
Everything the same on it, Scott?
Yep.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Roll call.
Clear.
Yes.
Laney.
Yes.
Us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, we'll open the public hearing on the proposed board ordinances change. Nobody said anything?
No, I haven't received no comments.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Okay, ordinance 447.
This is just formally approved then the new code of ordinances. So this is just another ordinance that we're passing, so it needs to be passed at 3 separate readings. Or I guess you could waive them tonight, but there's really no need to for time-wise or anything.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Schrader.
Yes.
Steinkamp.
Yes.
Huss.
Yes.
Laney.
Yes. Ordinance 448.
Okay, this would be the proposed first reading of the ordinance implementing that electric rate increase. The ordinance is on pages 6 and 7, but the rates, there's that same sheet that we went over, it's on pages 8 and 9. Those are what the proposed rates are, and then the impact on customer costs. Same thing as what we called proposal B last time. Any questions on that?
After reading your email that we got in regard to the downtown farmers market and how we're funding it, I have a real problem saying that we're taking $5,000 out to spend on a farmers market when we're going to turn around and tell the public we're raising the rates.
Okay.
I find that hard to swallow when we're spending money on things that are not totally necessary, and we're telling them we need more money. Therefore, I will vote no on it.
Anybody else? Guess we got to pay Mid-America some way, don't we?
Yeah. I'll make the motion and pass it. I understand where Jerry's coming about the other.
Chris, you have a question?
Could you clarify for those of us without packets what the rates were and what they're going to be now? If this passes?
I sure can get you the information, Chris. It'll be in the packet.
Okay.
Why do you move the ordinance? Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Thank you.
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Laney?
Yes.
Huss?
No.
Okay, ordinance 449, water rates. Same thing we talked about?
Yep, implements that increase equal to the CPI, it's 3.9%.
I'll make the motion.
I got a comment on that one too. I'm just going to be real popular tonight, but inconsistent with what I realize, the council voted this in several years back. It's automatic raise every year, whatever the CPI is. I voted no on that, and I don't believe in it. I believe that things go up in price, but to have a built-in raise for it every year, whatever the consumer price index is, I don't feel it's justified. So I'll be voting no on those also.
Well, I guess my thing is, a lot of people talking about older people on fixed income, but if the CPI goes up, shouldn't their Social Security go up? this year.
You know,
They were
this
talking
year,
about
that's the
that.
past couple of years that it
And
hadn't.
ours
but
really hasn't gone up by about 21%.
It was 1.1% last year.
Yeah. And I mean,
Just
$4.05 for 1,000 gallons of water, I mean, we're talking pennies here.
Just the rationale is, you know, regular little increases instead of the one big increase every so often.
But that was over a 10-year period, wasn't it?
Well, I couldn't tell you exactly how many
Well,
years
that's what
it's
the
been,
CPI
but it had been several years, that's true.
Obviously, that's what I thought I was voted into for 10 years. And CPI, I mean, that's inclusive of all your, you know, just everything that the consumer uses. It doesn't exactly say that water and sewer is exactly 3.9%.
Sure.
But just because everything else combined together makes it 3.9, we're going to 3.9.
Jerry, when you passed that a couple years
And it
back?
wasn't you guys that done it.
No, no, did you guys put it in for so many
I believe it
years?
was 10 years.
10
Well,
years?
I think not, Jerry. It's there, it's, you know, basically perpetual, so long as the council wants it to be. A council cannot continue to commit future councils.
I think
But
Tony made
it's,
a comment on that last meeting too, and I think she made a comment about she wasn't totally in favor of it either. But that's her. But anyway, like I said, I wasn't sold on the idea then, and not sold on it now.
But we all know the water and sewer don't make any money. No
I
matter what.
understand that, John, but
Somebody got to pay for fixing it and keeping it going. Is there, you got a better way to fund it?
no, I don't. But I mean, just to have that automatic 3.9, whatever the CPI is, I believe that things go up in price. I believe we have to be, you know, adjusted accordingly in order to keep it afloat. But what I'm saying is, the 3.9 this year, or whatever it is next year, is not, like I said, that's inclusive of everything that the consumer uses. That's how they set the consumer price index. Not saying that water and sewer went up 3.9%. That's what it's based on. I mean, I would rather see a study and be done that is actual, you know, where we're maintaining the cost to service it. Not just, man, this is what it is, take it or leave it.
Where would you, I guess, determine that study, or how would you go about doing that?
I mean, you probably ended up in Scott.
Is there a third-party company like that did our electric?
Sure. I mean, the same company could do water. There's some companies out there who could do that.
What would they charge us for that study?
Yeah.
Because I think we're getting more from
That's
studies
what
than we're
the
getting out of the
drawback,
rate.
that's what the drawback with studies is they tend to have, that's why I said I think Scott would have an idea of probably putting a number on it.
I mean, we could sit down and we could look at what our water, it's like a checkbook. We have so much money in our water fund, and obviously it ain't enough.
So now, but we're
In the
not,
sewer especially.
but we're not being ranked by Mid-America on something like this.
No, I know.
We're playing catch up from years ago. They never charged enough what year it passed. So we're stuck trying to.
I guess I'm gonna vote for it, and the reason I'm gonna vote for it is I want the water and sewer to pay their own way. And then we don't have to run from the electric fund or from something else to pay it.
Well, it's not really the water. I think a lot of people always think the water coming in their house mainly are what costs for, a lot of it costs for sewer.
Or treating the water costs us money.
You know, it's
pumping the water
both.
costs us
The
money.
cost to operate the utility is more for water than it is for sewer. And we get slightly more revenues for water because we have a few less sewer customers than what we do water. Otherwise, it's basically the same because sewer is 100% of water cost.
5% of it, yeah.
And with sewer, yeah, and a lot of it's cost allocations as far as the way we've chosen to pay for things in the past. A lot of it's personnel. That personnel funds 1.5 positions out of water, and we fund 1 position out of sewer. But, and then the biggest expense, by far the biggest expense out of sewer is just paying debt service.
When do we have to put in disinfection coming down the pipe?
It is coming down the pipe. We haven't heard anything new about a timeline on that, but it will happen in the next, you know, couple to few to several years.
How much do we have left on that debt service for the sewer? Is that, what was that, 10 years?
We pay through 2020 on that.
2020, okay.
Yeah.
And we'll easily, somewhere before then, have to take out loans.
More than likely.
But everything we're doing is user stuff. I mean, you can choose to cut back or.
Well, I guess my big concern, it seems like it doesn't cost us as much to pull it out of the ground and put it in the water tower as what it does once it leaves everybody's sinks and toilets on it. And we might get copycat in the 8-ball by the DNR on. And by the time we get up to code again, it'll be like last time, and all of a sudden we're paying
Bunch of debt, yeah.
we're paying a bunch of debt on something that's out of date already, because they change the rules so quick we can't update it quick enough.
Undoubtedly, it will be that way. If we need a capital investment in the utility, it would be debt. We couldn't afford it otherwise.
Okay, we have a motion.
Yeah, I did that.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Rainey,
Yes.
Stankham,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Huss.
No,
Okay, ordinance 450, sanitary sewer rates.
And this would propose the same rates as the water.
Same concerns, Jerry?
yeah, same situation.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Yep.
Roll call.
Schrader,
Yes.
Laney,
Yes.
Huss,
No,
Stankham.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 1129, is that bill?
Yeah. We can real quick talk through this. It's this situation where Dave Schultz, Dave lives out almost over towards Odegold. One of the last guys on our electric line. Has a bigger farm operation and would like to have three-phase power out there. Dave's been in to talk to the city council previously about this a few years ago. And our answer then had been the same, that when we have a three-phase extension, what we do is have the customer give us a deposit equal to the estimated construction cost, and then we hold that in trust, and then we turn around and repay that back to them based on 50% of their annual usage. So the rationale there being, the one example that we had was put out a new line out to Howitz, and this is 15, 20 years ago. Put this line out there. Had sunk thousands and thousands of dollars into this new line that Howitz used for 1 year and decided they didn't need it anymore. And we were out that capital investment. So when Howitz wanted a new line again, when Rolene did for a three-phase extension to the DNR, we've required this same type of an agreement that requires the prepayment, and then it is repaid back to them as 50% of their electric usage. It has a maximum number of years on it, so we don't hold that forever, and it's 7 years. So that either the entire amount's repaid back to them. If anything is still outstanding at the end of 7 years, the city retains it. Okay? The amount has been paid, it's $62,000. And actually, Dave signed the agreement. I'd already signed the agreement prior also.
So does this money go to the general fund, or is it held in escrow somehow?
It's, we hold it in a trust in our money market,
So we don't
so we don't spend it.
spend it?
Yep.
And who's gonna do the work? We do that ourselves?
Okay, this is just part of our large FEMA project. The line is scheduled for replacement through the FEMA project. This $62,000 is the additional cost to install three-phase as opposed to redoing the single-phase line out there. I'm speaking right about that, Bill?
Right. It's the most economical way for Dave to do it now, because when you're taking the single phase line down, all he's putting up is a longer cross arm and 2 more insulators, versus having him pay the whole bill.
That's $62,000.
Yeah. Who came up with
I'm
that
gonna get in
number?
this cross arm business.
I took our numbers from our engineer when the engineer put the estimate into FEMA.
Okay.
I took the cost per mile from single phase and 3-phase for that type of construction. Half of it's underbilled, and the other half is standalone R line. So if you look at those numbers, that's why it's so cheap because half of it's underbilled. Well, it's normally $44,000 a mile for single phase and $81,000 for 3.
So we're comfortable with this number though?
That's right from our engineer.
Okay.
You know, and actually, if the bid comes in less than this, we would refund the difference so that the
Okay, that's all.
deposit is the amount of what the construction cost would be.
And if it's the other way, if it's more, same way?
There's no provision for that. If it's more, we'll.
Is there any other customers we could pick up that we'd be running by that would want that? And I guess the reason I'm asking, let's say someone between where we're at now and, you know, him wants to hook on, do they have to pay?
There are provisions in the agreement for
Yeah,
that.
it's in the agreement.
That the next person who signs up is responsible for X% of cost out of that.
We had customers that wanted three-phase, and they don't want to pay for it.
I've heard that before.
That's under 4B, isn't it?
Yes, yep. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, when the second customer hooks in, Dave Schultz was 3 times the estimated base revenue.
Okay, we have a motion on resolution 1129.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Probably,
roll call.
Stankin,
Yes.
Laney,
yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Huss?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna revisit the backhoe.
I did ask the mayor about putting this back on the agenda. There's some new information that, I really didn't feel comfortable just disregarding. So I did want the council to reconsider this. And the new information being that we do have a solid number now about what the additional cost would be after the first of the year for the backhoe. And it's not a bid number, but it is 9%. And it would add $9,500 to the total cost of the machine that follows right down through to the bottom line then too. So the idea is it increases purchase price by around $9,500.
I guess my question, first like that, if we were to order this, when would that come in? When would that be available?
I don't have a delivery date, I don't know when it would be here. Might be a month, it might be 2 months.
Will the whole be worth 9% more?
What's that?
If they're going up 9%, would they give us 9% more on the new hole?
I asked him that, he said no.
Yeah, I talked with the salesman too, and it was just the top line price goes up and everything else stays the same, so the bottom purchase price
So,
ends up that much higher.
so I think the cost you were talking about was like $20 an hour is kind of what.
About $20 an hour, yeah.
How many hours would we be putting on? I know this is a question that probably doesn't have the correct answer, but how many hours would you figure from now until March, if it was a couple months that we would take?
You could be, it could be 100, could be 200, that's, hopefully 100 would do it, but, it depends.
So you take $2,000 off of that, $9,000, because now we're only talking $7,000, right? If I'm figuring, because we'd be putting them hours on a new machine. So, and we got warranty till when?
Till June. Well, we ordered in June, probably July.
I guess I know this is a good deal and all, but, I hate to put the winter abuse on a brand new machine while we still got warranty on this one, but I also don't want to wait till the warranty goes out and then sell it, because the machine with warranty, even if it's just a little bit left, brings quite a bit more, I know, in trade-in, but
I didn't want to even try to talk you into doing anything, but I thought it was
I
important
appreciate
information
bringing the
that
information.
This way everybody knows about it. There's nothing, it's gonna cost us $9,500 more.
Part of that salesman talking to.
I have no doubt that there's a little.
Because if I was a salesman, I'd be telling them all kind of stuff like that.
And if nobody
You are a
else is buying
salesman,
it,
and I believe you.
Sometimes just a little bit.
Jack, it's a good machine though. you can't foresee any problems between here and April with
Still under
anything?
warranty.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just trying to save you some money.
Well, we'll go on to clerk report.
So we're still, hold off this ring.
Storm coming in?
Sturm is not coming tonight. Let me give you the update about where he's at with his discussions with the bond company. He has contacted the bond company. Have not taken any action with the bond company yet, kind of pending this discussion with the council. The process to work through with the bond company, and this would certainly be something new for me, it's something new for Dave. But the process is that we just simply send them a letter that describes the situation, and the letter would include a description in the claim amount, supporting documentations, that type of stuff. Okay, that really gets the ball rolling, and from there, they review the claim and they make their own assessment. Well, in order to make their own assessment, they bring in a third-party engineer. So they do have another engineer come in and take a look at the situation. This engineer then, it's all hired at through the bond company or at King's expense. You know, the city's out of the picture on the cost. Okay, but based upon their third-party engineer, you know, they are going to, the bond company is going to make a decision largely based upon what that third-party engineer is going to tell them. Okay, so before we get into that, you know, I really want to make sure that we want to go that way and that we've explored as many options as there really are. Because if our engineer has strong feelings about this, I really want him to express those feelings to us. So Dave's opinion about this is that when you have panels with multiple cracks, they certainly need to be replaced. And those 6 of them that are down by the intakes, you know, they're without a doubt he would fully recommend that those be replaced. But his other history is that if you have panels with one crack, you go ahead and route and seal those panels that just have the one crack in them. And those would be those 6 to the north. So when we get down to it here, we've got some options. You know, first option would be you just want to be in a holding pattern. We could have our engineer come talk with us, and you can get everything directly from them. So that would be option 1. The other options could be that we negotiate with King about the number of panels then to be replaced versus sealed, or the third one being to initiate the bond proceedings. When we talked about, you know, do we want to just hire another contractor and have them replace them, I think it's just a huge risk on the city's part because you may stand the entire cost of that. If the bond company doesn't want to side with us, you know, our only recourse may then be through the courts. And you know, I do not want us to go into a situation where the city may not have the best hand in the deal. Yeah.
King's stance right now is he's not going to replace none of them, right?
And
after he said he
Because he's
replaced
a liar,
6.
because he sat right here and told us he was going to do those first.
yeah,
ones.
and that's, so yeah, you know, I just took that as
And I hope that's on
posture.
TV, he's a liar, because I'd like him to hear me say that. Sounds good.
The thing about that is that, as far as negotiating with him, I think we've gone that route. I think Tim made a good point when they had all the water problems. The city stepped up to help fix that problem. We threw some extra money towards them. All we're asking them to do is to do what we have. As far as I'm concerned, we just go with the bond company and we start moving on forward.
Yep.
I think we.
Can Sherman still come in and talk to us? I mean, he's probably got, I mean, I just don't think, something's got to be wrong with the compaction of that road or something. Almost every one of the panels on the right-hand side cracked, and, you know, we've never seen any. I'm sure someone had to have the results for that. Maybe we could take a look at that and maybe see if we got something to stand on even there and say, Was
You know,
this
'cause-
done properly, or?
Yeah, when we got
I can tell you a
together,
story got told to me by one of the guys who was working for the concrete company, is they took the test, it failed, they moved over 3 foot, took it again, and passed.
because I asked them about the test and how they did that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ways is the nuclear test or radar test or whatever they call that thing with the gun. And the other one is just simply rolling a truck down it, and then they watch for areas where it gets a little squishy, and if it's a little squishy there, that's the visual test.
Did
Well,
King
I'm no
Construction do
concrete.
like the road base? I know they didn't do the paving, but did they do the road
They
base?
did, yeah.
Okay.
They 10 Point Construction came in, did the paving. King did everything else on the job.
Okay.
What's your thoughts, Jared?
I agree, just thinking, push forward with it. I mean, if they're, knowing we got the engineer on our side.
I'm just confused why he's playing hardball on, I mean,
Because it's gonna cost them money.
but he stood here, you know, August of last year and told us he was gonna fix 6 of them, and
Just wait till spring, because in case some more crack, that's kinda
Yeah.
what he said.
then more of them did crack.
Yeah.
And now those are gonna be even worse.
Don't be surprised if there's, I drove out there the other day before the snow, looked at some of that, and I thought I could see some more cracks on,
That's, I don't think that base is any good. It's
that's kind of what,
You know, my opinion on those north ones was that they look worse now.
I just, maybe if Dave could come and Dave Sturman show us maybe if he's got some data on that and, you know, see what the heck we got there and see if there's anything that looks weird, or, I guess he probably would have seen that already though.
We've had this discussion between us and Dave and King, you know, asking about any data, because that's King's, one of his biggest points is that nobody could put your finger on why it failed the way that it did. And, you know, his contention is if you can't tell me why it failed, then it may not be my problem.
Would there be anything against us maybe going where the big cracks are at, cutting a piece out and taking a compaction test? Would that be against our right to do that?
We got to talk with Dave about that. I don't know that answer.
Okay. I mean, I'm just looking at our options, you know, maybe, I mean, we're diligent about paying everything, and I just don't know if we got a good quality product.
Looks like we need to get hold of Stern and tell him to march forward.
Well, okay, do you want Stern to come talk to the council meeting? Or?
The council meeting is fine if he wants to come, but I don't think we should sit around and wait for him to
No.
come here and talk to us, I think we should move ahead.
Send a letter to the bond company and.
Yeah,
because guess what, that's gonna cost him in the long run too. for-
because no matter what he says to me, I ain't gonna change my mind.
Okay, so we'll have them send a letter to the bond company. You want to see Stern at the meeting, though, or not?
That costs us money,
Yes,
then I don't want to see it.
it's extra hours of time.
Yeah, I'll pass it on. Maybe just ask them on the phone.
Tell him to move forward.
Yeah, move forward, we're done backing out.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just a couple other things. Saturday is the Christmas candlelight walk. We plan on having several fire pits in the 4th Street intersection, and would like to be able to block off the 4th Street intersection, just one barricade at each one of the 4 sides of that intersection. Other than that, all the streets remain open for parking. Okay?
You guys need firewood?
You see my note that says Ben the fire guy?
Oh. I see.
Boy, unless Jack gets the streets cut down.
Because I'm looking for some firewood and somebody to man the fires. Absolutely.
Santa Claus can't do that.
Can he do that?
I'll be around to help the fire.
He's a firewood kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well, good, yes. The other thing that I'll be asking for volunteers for is basically transportation. We have to come up with some transportation back to the museum. So, and we're just going to use volunteers then and kind of wing it the night of the event. So,
What time's the hold back?
around 7.
Oh, that should be wrong.
I can't, because I'll be working.
Throw them in the back of your pickup, stack them up just like firewood.
Yep. As long long as I don't sing any Christmas songs in my ear.
Jeez, Mayor.
Bah humbug.
Yeah.
Old Scrooge will call you back.
Pardon my hearing aid.
Just a little bit of explanation about a pending project for that electric underbill. Do you want to explain that, Bill? REC electric underbill?
They started last Thursday. T&D Construction, they got the bid from Sac REC. And I talked to the foreman, he thought they'd be done by Christmas. It's on 2 miles of line. And this is all FEMA approved line. About 6 customers on that line, 6 or 7. Just the beginning of the FEMA project.
So on this line, say it's about 2 miles. It is approved for FEMA reimbursement for SAC REC and for us. Okay? So we've used, SAC REC has done all the bidding on that and used all of the proper procedures to make sure that it remains FEMA eligible. We've been working kind of along on the side on this too to make sure that we're involved with this too. So we will be billed directly from T&D Construction for our share of the cost. Now our share just is basically that underbilled part, and we do not have a share of the poles, other than the fact that we have a few poles on there that are exclusive to us, right, Bill?
Right.
But if they're shared poles, we don't have a responsibility on poles.
When do we get FEMA reimbursement? Is that going to be a 2-year process?
That's the other good thing about this, because I'm not really sure what the answer is, but this is a small project to get it started, and it will allow us to work through the FEMA reimbursement process and kind of get a feel for exactly how that works.
Did we decide how we're going to do funding for that? Are we doing local banks or?
Just that we know the local banks are interested. You know, I haven't talked interest rates with them or anything like that. Next Monday night, we're going to get together with the fire department trustees over at the fire station and go through the annual meeting about the fire department and the fire department budget request. And then next Thursday, Sac County League over at Odaboat. So I need an actual number, and Whitey, you said 2?
Yep.
Jerry?
I gotta look at that.
Gus, you in for 2? Tim?
Yep.
2?
Yep.
When is it, next Thursday?
Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
Week from Wednesday.
Week from Wednesday?
Mayor?
Yeah, I'll bring the chest we're going to give away.
And you said this is a big chest.
Please vote long.
Can you stop by maybe sometime before then, down there, and we'll try and fill it up,
Okay.
so we kind of see what we need to put in there and get it full.
A lot of straw.
Now, I know last year we had some green stuff with like weeds or something. But
Okay.
I was thinking like some Templeton rye or something like that we could throw in there. But we're way overstuffed
On what?
Templeton rye. So
Yeah,
we
really?
might need to do
Yeah,
that.
we
got it, huh?
tried to get it here a while
Yeah,
back.
we're way ahead of the game this year. We might be too far ahead of the game.
That's it.
I would like to talk about sidewalks and we have at least 3 that I know of. Businesses, 2 of them are actually businesses that are functioning right now and still have not shoveled their sidewalk, as of right now. Now, the one is a closed building, I kind of understand why he didn't shovel it. I still don't think it's right, but what is our ordinance? Is it just a reasonable amount of
A
time?
reasonable,
Or
but a reasonable time is
I think
expired.
that, yeah, I think that's expired. So what is our recourse?
The process that we use would just be that I'd call them and ask them to come in and get it taken care of.
Okay.
If they don't come in and get it taken care of, and we'd give them a day to get it done, then we would have our guys do that and they get billed.
Okay, and I'm for that, because here's what I see is, this Saturday, we're gonna have a whole bunch of people walking downtown singing Christmas carols, walking on slippery sidewalks that somebody didn't shovel. And last year I shoveled somebody's every time. The one right next to my building, every time. And I'm not gonna do that for them this year, just not gonna do it. So I would like to see, yeah, let's call them and tell them, get on.
But we'll bill them enough that it makes it work as well.
And if you, the other one is Walson Photography, who I don't think she ever shovels it. I've never seen her shovel it. And the other one is Artwork. And he apparently shoveled it once. Because it's not as deep as the one next to his, but it's still, it's slippery. And then, I guess I forgot, Red Sanitation has not done a good job with theirs. They drove over it a bunch of times. And that's got that angle on it. And that's slippery.
We're gonna call them and send everybody an email, see how we get. That way we know.
I will give them a call.
So if we give them a call, then we're gonna give them one day and then just send the troops out?
Anything else? Motion to
I got
adjourn?
that motion.
Second? Meeting adjourned.